Welcome to our CompTIA A Plus certification video on printers. This video will test your knowledge and understanding of printers, which is a crucial topic for the CompTIA A Plus exam. So if you're preparing for the exam or you're just looking to brush up on your printer related skills, this video will provide you with valuable practice and insights. In this video, we'll be covering a variety of questions that are related to the different types of printers, the printer components and functions, common printer issues and troubleshooting techniques, as well as printer maintenance and best practices. Don't forget to like, comment, and also subscribe to our channel for more informative videos on everything cybersecurity for the certification exams for securing your cybersecurity job. EverlastCyber is the best place to be. So without wasting further time, let's dive right into the practice questions. Question 1. Which component in a laser printer applies heat and pressure to bond the toner to the paper? A. Drum. B. Transfer roller. C. Fuser. D. Pickup roller. For this, we'll be going with option C. The fuser in a laser printer applies heat and pressure to melt the toner onto the paper, and this will create a permanent print on the paper. The answer here cannot be the drum because the drum only transfers the toner to the paper, but it doesn't apply the print to the paper. The transfer roller only moves the paper through the printer, while the pickup roller feeds paper from the tray into the printer. So the only component that applies the heat and pressure to bond the toner to the paper is the fuser. Question 2. Muzan has just finished installing a printer for a customer. What should he do next? A. Print a test page. B. Set up a separator page. C. Restart the spooler. D. Verify that the printer prints by using Microsoft Word. Going through the options, printing a test page ensures that the printer is properly installed and it is functioning correctly. For option B, setting up a separator page, this is a specific configuration task that is not really necessary for every installation, and it's actually usually done after confirming that the printer is working. For option C, restarting the spooler is done if there are issues with the print queue, but it's not a standard step that is done immediately after installation. Verifying that the printer prints using Microsoft Word, this can be a good step. However, printing a test page is a more straightforward and standardized method to verify that the installation is done correctly. So for this, we'll begin with option A, print a test page. Question 3. Which type of printer uses impact to transfer ink from a ribbon to the paper? A. Laser. B. Thermal. C. Impact. D. Inkjet. So I'll just explain each of the printers we have on the options. So a laser printer uses a laser beam to form an image on the drum, which is then transferred to the paper using toner and heat. A thermal printer uses heat to create images on a special kind of paper, or it transfers wax-based ink from a ribbon onto the paper. An impact printer uses a print head that strikes an ink-soaked ribbon and transfers the ink onto the paper, while an inkjet printer sprays tiny droplets of liquid ink directly onto the paper to form an image. So with respect to the question here, the type of printer that uses impact to transfer ink from a ribbon to the paper is option C, the impact printer. And I put up a picture of the different types of impact printers we have. We have the dot matrix impact printer and the daisy wheel impact printer. Question 4. Which of the following printers requires a special type of paper? A. Laser printer. B. Dot matrix printer. C. Inkjet printer. D. Thermal printer. The laser printer uses regular paper with toner. The dot matrix printer uses impact printing with ribbons to transfer ink from the ribbon to the paper. An inkjet printer uses liquid ink on standard paper, However, a thermal printer uses heat-sensitive paper, and this reacts to heat to create images. So we have these thermal printers used in cash registers or printing calculators, as well as label machines. These are where this kind of printers are used, and they are used because they are quite affordable. So for the cash register, they can be used to print, receipts, because they are quite affordable, unlike the other types of printers. So that's a picture of what a thermal printer looks like. So it can be used to print labels, it can be used in cash registers, and also for printing calculators. Question 5. You are the manager of a technical services team. One of your technicians observes that the printer is jamming just above the printer tray. What steps should the technician first perform to resolve this issue? A. Clean the pickup rollers. B. Clean the feeder roll. C. Replace the drum. D. Replace the fuser. Cleaning the pickup rollers can help to improve their grip on the paper, and it will reduce the chance of jamming. For the feeder roll, while cleaning the feeder roll can be helpful, the pickup rollers are more directly involved in feeding paper from the tray. Replacing the drum is part of the printing process, but it's not likely to be the cause of the paper jam occurring just above the tray. The fuser, for option D, the fuser is used in bonding the toner to the paper, but it is located farther along in the printing process. So for this, we'll be going with option A. Cleaning the pickup rollers will help to improve their grip on the paper and reduce the chance of jamming. Question 6. When troubleshooting a printer that prints faded images, which of the following is the most likely cause? A. Clogged print head. B. Low toner or ink. C. Paper jam. D. Incorrect printer driver. A clogged print head can cause streaks or missing lines on the paper or the print job. Low toner or ink can be a likely cause of this, because when there is no ink, of course the images that are being printed will be faded. The answer cannot be a paper jam, because a paper jam stops printing entirely, while an incorrect printer driver can cause printing errors. But in the case of this question where it says the printer prints faded images, that can't be the answer. So we'll be going with option B. The faded print images are caused by low toner in laser printers or low ink in inkjet printers. Question 7. Which printer failure issue can be described as a condition in which the internal feed mechanism has stopped working temporarily? A. Corrupt driver. B. Power cycle. C. Paper jam. D. No connectivity. A corrupt driver, this is a software problem, and it can prevent the printer from receiving proper instructions from the computer, but it does not affect the internal feed mechanism directly, so this cannot be the answer. Power cycling is the turning off of the printer and turning it back on to reset it. This can resolve some issues, but it does not describe the situation we have here where the internal feed mechanism has stopped working temporarily. A paper jam, on the other hand, is likely the answer, because when the paper gets stuck in the printer, it causes the internal feed mechanism to stop working temporarily. For option D, no connectivity indicates a problem with the printer's connection to the computer or the network. So while it can stop printing operations, it does not directly affect the internal feed mechanism. So for this, we'll be going with option C. A paper jam is the likely issue that is causing the internal feed mechanism to stop working temporarily. Question 7. What would be the first step in troubleshooting a network printer that is not accessible by users but appears to be powered on and functioning? A. Restart the printer. B. Check the printer's network connection. C. Update the printer driver. D. Replace the printer's toner cartridge. For this, if the network printer is not accessible but it is powered on, the first step should be to check the network connection. So we'll be going with option B here. While restarting the printer, updating the driver or replacing the toner cartridge might be necessary later, it does not verify the network connection. So option B is the best answer for this scenario. So by checking on the network connection, you'll be able to ensure that it's properly connected to the network so that the users will be able to access the printer. Question 9. Which step enables you to take control of a network printer from a remote computer? A. Connecting to the printer through FTP. B. Installing the printer locally and accessing the Ports tab. C. Installing the printer locally and accessing the Sharing tab. D. Installing the printer locally and accessing the spool settings. For this, for option A, connecting the printer through FTP. FTP is only used for file transfer. That's the file transfer protocol, but it's not used to connect or control printers. Option B, installing the printer locally and accessing the Ports tab. The Ports tab itself is used to configure the port settings for the printer, but it does not give access or sharing support. Installing the printer locally and accessing the Sharing tab. From the Sharing tab, you can share the computer over the network and allow other computers to connect to it or even control the printer remotely. While option D, installing the printer locally and accessing the spool settings. The spool settings only manages how the print jobs are handled, but it does not enable remote control of the printer. So we'll be going with option C here. From the Sharing tab, you can share the printer over the network and allow other computers to connect to it, and also you can control the printer remotely from this tab. Question 10. A color laser printer produces images that are tinted blue. Which of these steps should be performed to address the problem? A. Calibrate the printer. B. Change the fusing assembly. C. Clean the primary corona. D. Clean the toner cartridge. For option A, calibration aligns the colors properly and ensures that each color is printed accurately. For option B, changing the fusing assembly. Remember, the fusing assembly bonds the toner to the paper using heat and pressure, so it doesn't typically cause a color tint issue. The primary corona in option C charges the drum, which helps transfer the toner to the paper. While cleaning this can resolve issues like spots or streaks, it does not fix the color tint issue. Option D, cleaning the toner cartridge might help with certain print quality issues, but it's not the solution for the color balance problem here. So for this question, we'll be going with option A. If the images are tinted blue, it suggests that the color balance is off, and this can be corrected through calibration. So the first thing to do will be to calibrate the printer, and then the colors will be balanced, and once you print an image, you'll see the exact colors the way they are supposed to be. Question 11. Which component is responsible for temporarily holding print jobs before they are printed in a network printer setup? A. Print head. B. Fuser. C. Drum. D. Print queue. The print head, drum, and fuser are all parts of the printer's physical printing process, but it does not handle the job management process. So for this, we'll be going with option D. The print queue is a temporary storage area on a computer or print server where all the print jobs are held before they are eventually sent to the printer. This will allow multiple print jobs to be managed and printed in the order in which they are received. So option D is our answer here. Question 12. In a laser printer, what is the purpose of the transfer belt? A. To feed paper into the printer. B. To clean the drum. C. To transfer toner from the drum to the paper. D. To apply heat to fuse the toner to the paper. The purpose of the transfer belts is that it removes the toner from the drum onto the paper. The paper is then passed through the fuser, which applies heat to bond the toner to the paper. So the transfer belt plays a crucial role in the image transfer process in a printer. So for this, we'll be going with option C. Question 13. A user reports that their inkjet printer is producing streaky and missing lines in the printout. What is the most likely cause of this issue? A. Low ink levels. B. Dirty printhead. C. Paper jam. D. Incorrect paper type. Low ink levels might result in faded printouts. Paper jams and incorrect paper types are a different kind of problem. So in this scenario where an inkjet printer is producing missing lines or streaky images, it's likely that the printhead is dirty. So we'll be going with option B. Cleaning the printhead will resolve this particular issue because the streaky or missing lines are caused by a dirty or clogged printhead. Remember that the inkjet printer uses liquid ink that is sprayed onto the paper to produce the image. Question 14. After turning off a printer to do some maintenance, which of the following should you be careful of when removing the fuser? A. The fuser being wet. B. The fuser being fragile. C. The fuser releasing toner. D. The fuser being hot. Option A. Fusers are not typically wet because they operate in a dry environment with high heat. For option B, while the fusers can be delicate due to their internal components, the primary concern is not the fragility of the fuser. For option C, toner can leak from the cartridges or parts of the printer, but this is not a specific concern when removing the fuser. The main concern would be the fuser being hot, because remember that the fuser uses heat to transfer the toner onto the paper. So we'll be going with option D. The fuser operates at high temperatures to fuse the toner onto the paper, so even after the printer has been turned off, the fuser unit can remain hot for a long period of time. So handling the fuser when it is hot can lead to injuries and burns. So it's important to allow for sufficient time for the fuser to cool down before you attempt to remove it or handle it. Question 15. Vertical streaks are appearing on the output of a laser printer. Which of the following is the most likely cause? A. Drum. B. Ribbon. C. Transfer belt. D. Roller. For option A, the drum in a laser printer transfers the toner onto the paper. Option B, the ribbon is not used in a laser printer. This is used more in an impact printer, so it's not relevant to this question. The transfer belt plays a role in transferring toner to the paper. However, it doesn't cause the issue that is highlighted in this question, the vertical streaks. A roller can cause different types of print quality issues like the paper feed problem, but the vertical streaks are highlighted in this question. It's not related to this issue. So the likely cause is option A. If the drum is dirty, damaged, or has a scratch, it can cause vertical streaks on the printed output. So when a vertical streak is appearing on the output of a laser printer, it's likely that the drum is either damaged or dirty, or it has a scratch on it. Question 16. Which of the following is a common use for a thermal printer? A. Printing high quality photographs. B. Printing receipts. C. Printing large banners. D. Printing high speed documents. Thermal printers are not used for high quality photographs, large banners, or even high speed documents. They are more used to print receipts because they have a fast print speed and low cost of operation. So we'll be going with option B here. So the thermal printers are usually used for printing receipts because of their low cost of operation and also fast print speed. Question 17. What component of a laser printer applies high temperature and pressure to bond the toner to the paper? A. Printhead. B. Transfer roller. C. Imaging drum. D. Fuser assembly. The printhead is found in inkjet printers, so it's not applicable in this question. A transfer roller transfers the toner from the imaging drum to the paper, but it does not use heat or pressure, so it doesn't apply to this question. The imaging drum transfers toner to the paper, but it does not apply heat and pressure that is needed to bond the toner to the paper. So the only applicable option here is the fuser assembly. The fuser uses heat and pressure to fuse the toner particles onto the paper, and by doing so, it creates a permanent print on the paper. So that's the correct answer. Question 18. Which of these types of printers uses a ribbon, tractor field, and printhead? A. Impact printer. B. Inkjet printer. C. Laser printer. D. Thermal printer. The impact printer uses a ribbon to transfer ink to the paper, and this is employed by a tractor feed mechanism which pulls continuous forms or multi-part forms onto the paper. So the printhead strikes the ribbon, and by doing so it creates characters on the paper. So that's the option we're going with, option A. For the other types of printers, the inkjet printers uses liquid ink cartridges, and the printhead sprays ink onto the paper, but it doesn't use a ribbon or tractor field. The laser printer uses a toner, while the thermal printer uses heat to produce images on a special kind of paper that is only used on the thermal printer. So the answer to this question, the type of printer that uses a ribbon, tractor field, and printhead is the impact printer. Question 19. A client brings in a printer that has a paper feed error. What is the most likely cause? A. The paper tray. B. The fuse head. C. The separation pad. D. The pickup rollers. The paper tray, it can sometimes cause printer issues if it's not properly aligned or if the paper is not loaded correctly. However, in this scenario where the printer is having a paper feed error, this is not the likely cause. The fuse head is only responsible for transferring images onto the paper, so it has nothing to do with the paper feed. The separation pad helps to prevent multiple sheets of paper from being fed into the printer at once. Now, if this separation pad has issues, it can cause paper jams, but it is not a paper feed error. So the likely cause of the paper feed error will be option D, the pickup rollers. The pickup rollers are responsible for feeding paper from the tray into the printer. So if they are dirty, if they are worn out, or if they are not functioning properly, they can cause the paper feed errors like we have in this scenario. Question 20. Ben submitted a support ticket that states all of the printouts from a laser printer appear to have double images imposed on them. A review of past printer support tickets shows that a maintenance kit has not been installed in more than a year. Which of the following printer consumables is most likely causing the issue? A. Separation pad. B. Fuser. C. Transfer roller. D. Ink cartridge. For this, we'll be going with option B. The fuser is responsible for bonding toner to the paper with the use of heat and pressure. So if the fuser components are worn out or damaged due to lack of maintenance, this can be the likely cause of the issue we have in this scenario. So the fuser is the answer we are going with here. Question 21. Which of the following printer types is known for its ability to produce high quality photographic prints? A. Dot matrix printer. B. Thermal printer. C. Laser printer. D. inkjet printer. The dot matrix printer is usually used for text and simple graphics. Thermal printers are used for receipts and labels, while laser printers are used for fast and high quality text and graphics, but they are not generally used for high quality photos. So the answer we'll be going with here is the inkjet printer. The inkjet printer is known for their ability to produce high quality photographic prints because of their ability to precisely control the placement of tiny droplets of ink. Remember, the inkjet printer works by spraying ink onto the paper. So this is used for producing high quality photographic prints because it has the ability to precisely control the placement of the tiny droplets of ink being released on the paper. Question 22. Which of these can cause a ghosted image on the output of a laser printer? A. Transfer corona wire. B. Primary corona wire. C. Pickup rollers. D. Photosensitive drum. For this, the option A, transfer corona wire, this only charges the paper to attract toner, but it does not typically cause ghosting. The primary corona wire charges the drum to prepare it for attracting toner, but it doesn't cause ghosting. The pickup roller is only responsible for feeding paper through the printer, so it does not affect the image quality or transfer. A photosensitive drum in option D is a cylindrical component that is coated with the photoconductive material, and this becomes conductive when it is exposed to light. The photosensitive drum can also be known as the imaging drum, and it is a very crucial component in a laser printer. So when you have a ghosted image on the output of the laser printer, it's likely that the issue is caused by the photosensitive drum. So it could be that the residual toner was not cleaned off between the print cycles. So when you print the normal job, it creates a ghost image of prior print jobs. So the answer we're going with here is option D. Ghosting image occurs when previous images are faintly duplicated on subsequent prints. When the photosensitive drum or the imaging drum is not properly cleaned, this could cause a ghosted image on the output. Question 23. Ben's printer fails to print large documents but still prints smaller documents without a problem. Which of these steps should Ben take? A. Change the toner cartridges. B. Add memory to the printer. C. Replace the communications cable. D. Check if the correct type of paper is being used. This is likely a memory problem, so let's just check the other options. So changing the toner cartridge, replacing the communications cable, or checking the paper type, they are less likely to be relevant to this specific problem, where only the smaller print jobs are being printed but the larger ones are not being printed. We'll be going with option B, adding memory to the printer. This is because printing large documents requires more memory than printing the smaller one. If the printer has insufficient memory, it will not be able to print the large documents. Adding more memory to the printer can resolve this issue. Question 24. Debbie's printer is printing hundreds of pages and she cannot get it to stop. She has tried to delete the job by double-clicking the printer and deleting print job. Which step represents the best way to stop the printer? A. Unplugging the printer. B. Resetting the printer. C. Turning off the printer. D. Clearing the print spool. Unplugging the printer or resetting it or even turning it off, it might stop the current print job, but this is just a temporary measure. It does not address the root cause of the issue, which is the pending print job. So whenever the printer is turned back on, it will continue from where it stopped. The best thing to do in this case will be option D, clearing the print spool. So once this print spool is cleared, it will remove all the pending print jobs from the printer queue, and it will effectively stop the printer from continuing to print. So that's the best thing to do. Question 25. While printing on a laser printer, you observe that the pages have wrinkles and random patterns of missing prints. What is the most likely cause of this issue? A. The toner cartridge is defective. B. The fuser needs to be replaced. C. The transfer corona wire is defective. D. The separation pad needs to be replaced. In option A, where we see the defective toner, this can cause print quality issues, but the combination of the wrinkles and the random missing prints in the scenario we have is not related to this option. The defective transfer corona wire and the separation pad, they can also cause print quality issues, but because of the combination of the wrinkles and the missing prints, this is likely a fuser issue because the fuser is responsible for bonding the toner to the paper. So if it is defective or it is nearing the end of its life, it can cause incomplete printing or even wrinkles on the paper. So we're going with option B. If the fuser is replaced, then the issue of the wrinkles and the random patterns of missing prints will be taken care of and you'll be able to use the printer effectively. This brings us to the end of the video on the CompTIA A+ practice questions and answers on printers. Don't forget to like, comment and share if you have found this video helpful. Also click on the subscribe button so you'll be notified for when the next video goes up. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video.